Welcome back. This is a no outlet apparently. Oops. So, next thing to do I think is the last of the kind of normal on the ground types of events, which would mean races in cars. Oh, these balloons. Well, I wish it changed the, whoops. I wish it changed the measure every single time. Or if as you went further and further it would express it in different units. Yeah, I know that. Oh. So to say, this isn't usually the route I take, but I feel adventurous. That was a very adventurous route I took. I believe where we want to be is pretty much right up here. Right through the tunnel. And I think the event here was just racing and nothing else. Could be wrong. I don't know if there were multiple keys from it or not. There was at least one event here that had 3 keys. I think maybe just one. The most have only had 1.
How's it going?
Hi. I don't know if potholes are really a thing when you're off-road. Or it's just holes. Does she? People assume a lot of things about Granny, I think. Well, it's a fast loading screen. Jeez. Okay, so we do have a couple different things to do here. Here's a rally car. Oh, that's cool. I was not aware of that. Thank you. Okay, I'll memorize those numbers, certainly. Is that any different? Oh, the rally car is only ever... Okay, nunchuck not allowed for the rally car. That's interesting. Oh, and camera control is interesting. And beta drift. That's really the same thing. Whatever. There are only 3 of these, so... Sounds like there are a lot more rally races, though. Oh, the open races are the ones that... Okay, yeah. Oh, that was it? Yeah, these ones are ones where you start somewhere and you end somewhere, and that's it. Which is cool. It's kind of cool having stuff open like that. Okay, that is not very helpful. Right. No, I don't get the impression the AI is usually that smart about where they drive, though. Although in this case, the route seems pretty obvious. Why would I be used to go to the left there? I'm not sure. It's a fairly straight line to where you want to be. is precisely the route they're taking. Except they're trying to stick to the roads apparently, which is amusing. Taking a very indirect route. Yeah, everyone tries to stick to the roads. Curious how the rally races are set up. So some of them have laps. The other ones are probably just have to pass through checkpoints or something like that. I think that's how rally races usually work. Of course, there are different kinds of rally races, so it could be anything really. Oh jeez. Stress is not. 1 second. Sorry, got something stuck in my hair, as weird as that sounds. There we go. This one just climbed to the top of the mountain. We're on the other side of that rock wall now. Wonderful. Can't go through it this time either. I guess the only reason that they let you use the remote nunchuck while driving this thing, because doesn't that make that much sense in most ways? There's not much correspondence between what you're doing physically and like how you would steer a vehicle like this if you're using the rear motor nunchuck. Because I'm steering the same way that I would like on skis or something in the earlier games. I guess the reason is this is a vehicle you can use in the overworld, and the overworld you're generally suggested to, I guess you can use either just the rear motor or the rear motor nunchuck, but that means anything you can use, any vehicles you're allowed to use in the overworld, you have to be able to use with just the rear motor or the rear motor nunchuck, both. Whereas there's no reason to do that for the rally cars. And now I just drive over the hill. Competitively driving up a hill. The road looks kind of stuck. Oh, you can go further up than that. We're not done yet. Ah! Darn it. The lake is my true destination. Or a pond, I guess. Yeah. Oh look, that guy actually was in the race. The guy who said he would join us in the race actually did. I did not expect that little detail. That's cool. Alright, nunchuck, go away. Yeah, look at that. 10 stages. This will take us some time. Rally. Cross country. Buggy. Well, we'll just switch between them. Kind of like I did with the city vehicles. See if any of these have Klonoa on them. Oh jeez, listen to these things. It's like a lot of really low-pitched B's. Get out of my way. Look at you. Stop not being a rally car. Oh! That's some drifting. Yeah, these things are light. Wow. Ow. Ooh. Yeah, the steering of these things is crazy. I have a feeling this might get kind of boring as some of the city races did, though, where they just went crazy and had a bunch of courses that weren't really all that different. Ah! Sometimes you hit a bump and turn a lot harder, a lot more suddenly than you would expect to. Eh. Yeah, the lightness of these vehicles is hard to get used to, especially on terrain like this. Where you're just kind of bouncing around the whole time. I didn't even do much worse that lap, actually. I was much closer to my opponent. That's the weird thing with rubber banding. The actual time you get is not necessarily what determines how well you do. Because how well you perform will actually influence how your opponents perform in a game with rubber banding. So if you do really well and then just mess up at the end, you might get a way better time than someone else who actually managed to get first in the same race. Ah. Oh yeah. I have the different camera angles. Chibi does not get to be on the podium, but still wants to attend anyways. Pictures are a little too low resolution for me to tell what's actually on this one. So I don't see Klonoa though. This is gonna be interesting. Yeah, I find it fun playing things that are not really expected to be played in first person, because they tend to give you a very, very different feel. I don't really have much obsession over things being first person in general. Anyone who has seen my lineup on this channel can see that I basically never play things that are actually in first person to start with. Partly, well, there aren't many things that are in, there aren't many genres that are good for first person to start with. It's actually pretty impractical from a gameplay standpoint. Like on the rare occasion you see a first person, the only first person things I can think of are shooters, and then there's the small genre of first person platformers. Just first person platformers are really hard to pull off. Like Mirror's Edge, for instance. Because you just don't have the situational awareness you would normally rely on for that kind of gameplay. I did play... yeah. I did play through Blink's 2 at first person at one point, which was an amusing experience. It's just interesting getting a different perspective on things, quite literally. Because the scale of everything sinks in a lot better when you have the camera actually at the level of the player character. I think it's a little unfortunate sometimes how like lots of details in the world can actually be lost, and you always have the camera floating like up in the air, far behind the character. Unless you're really careful with the camera work otherwise. And this guy is right behind me the whole time. Got some serious rubber banding on the rally cars, it feels like. Now. Oh, it says Phantom Meal on it. Okay, never mind. Klonoa has returned. There might be there are certainly other Namco references on these cars that I'm just not recognizing. I continue to maintain that Namco is a weirdly self-obsessed developer. They cannot keep themselves from referencing other stuff of theirs. It's just not within their ability. Does it say Phantom Yell on the back too? Because that's kind of weird if it says Phantom Yell and I never noticed. I don't think it does. I think it only says it on the side. I don't know what it says on the back. We'll get another chance to see anyways. Alright, next episode, a whole lot of that. Not like the antagonist of that, but you know this is racing, but what you just saw, kind of that. Bye everyone.